Greetings. Well, the fulfillment of the peace thing has begun. The golden age. Which I kept saying, for months now about peace is what motivates. You're hearing my electric chair, going over some of this stuff. And, the weather's coming in here in New Mexico, and I just thought you ought to see some of it. It's pretty cool. It's getting cold, though. I'm just going to kind of get up to this flatter ground over here. Okay. Sorry for the shaky camera. But anyway, so the way I look at it is really more like, okay, so the thing changed. New program came in, and it was time to change the set dressing, change the props, change the design. Actors changed. Same faces, same other costumes, same faces. They look just like the ones that were there before, but their memories are not really there. It's almost as if cell memories have to be wiped for this other age. And the key point of revelation then, and I'm going to sound like a lunatic, but that's okay, is as I look at the stars, and I find the stars are telling me about the ancients that looked at stars. And they looked at stars and communicate with stars because the stars move and vibrate and communicate in their own way. And then there's the king of the stars, Polaris. And Polaris is this powerful eye of God star that seems to be watching over everything. And it changes, I'm traversing over really kind of thick gravel, and you got where is he? And what, are you helping me to get back home? I hope I make it. So, yeah, no, it'd be better if I was using legs right now. But so it's almost like the change of the set, and the actors have a new script, and they have a new set dressing, new props, new furniture. Okay, that did not work, folks. I ran into some thick. Okay, shall we try it again? Okay, I have to concentrate now on getting up this hill. That's more interesting, whether I make it up this hill or not, versus the Middle East, change, which also means that will be the future center of the world, where we had a lot of people thought it was China. Isn't that weird? People thought, oh, China's next. I think China forfeited it just by their, but I don't know how. It just didn't seem to go that way. It seems now, it's going to be vacations in Dubai. You know what I mean? It's going to be learning architecture from some of these, in Syria or something. Architecture in Syria, yeah. And not to mention the resorts in Gaza. And, it's just, I just love, I don't like to see everybody groping around, but you got to throw out yesterday's mindset and yesterday's thoughts about it, because it's not the same thing anymore. And so now you just kind of, watch what happens. There could easily be terror attacks, false flag attacks from people that are disgruntled, who don't want political change. Disgruntled Gazans going crazy. Israelis pretending to be Gazans to give another excuse for the hardliners to start, lobbing bombs. But I don't know where the hell you're going to lob the bombs in Gaza, or I suppose that you got to rebuild it first and then lob some bombs, and that would be more apropos for a human. But humans not in control. This is in control, and humans down here, these are little people, all fighting each other, and the control is here, and not one. The change that they see coming, they consider to be the end of the world, and are telling everyone there's going to be an extinction level event soon. An extinction level event, folks. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that happens, because they feel they're losing power. And so those who don't hate Israel or hate Jews or whatever it is, and want it to be more blood, you have to go. Maybe you have to volunteer for the Palestinian army or something. They need people to kill. So if you're willing to volunteer, if you hate that much, you should just go there and they'll go ahead and kill you. I mean, if the warmongers, but blessed are the peacemakers. I think in this case, Trump to me is, corrupt. So is, his whole staff is at Pam Bondi. I mean, there's a real piece of work there. I tell you, unbelievable. And then on the other side, you've got the deep state, the lawfare, the Democrats, who are just like TDS to the hilt. When TDS is not there anymore, all these people are warming up to it's all going to be changed. They're going to be going, wait a second, we got to get him. De Niro's out there, saying, yeah, we got to get him. We got to make sure that there are no kings. And meanwhile, the biggest peace accord in one of the biggest events in history just took place, and but there's no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I didn't see that happen. And meanwhile, they still y'all blind. Charlie Kirk is pivotal because Charlie Kirk shows you, how they did Kennedy and all the rest of them. And, in this case, I believe they flew his body out to Valhalla. Get it? And this might explain why Erica, the queen whore Babylon bitch, is acting so callous and like such an asshole. I mean, if Charlie's really dead, I'd want some kind of divorce from wherever I was, heaven. I want to have a decree of divorce. I mean, that's just awful. But there may be another reason for it, like, the world's a stage. They did a mini ritual there. The ritual is what I call the Babylonian mocking ritual, which is satanic ritual abuse. But when the victim doesn't know, in this case you, and anybody else that's not awake completely, of course, everyone prides themselves on being awake when they're not really awake, which is another issue, and that's not my issue. It's something that should be objectively known. Like if you didn't think you were being played at the Kirk Memorial, then you need help. If you look back at the evidence and don't see anything wrong with the crime scene timeline, the multiple shooters, people running around on the roofs, the private airport, the airport logs of the plane that left 30 minutes after the shooting and then returned with nothing on board. If you understood that the guy that destroyed the police site was the chief of police, if you don't understand that the crime scene was violated because it wasn't a crime scene, and then you go, well, then what happened? You don't know. You see, I don't know. I just know that the club, all these people nod and wink, they're actors, politicians, all these people, insiders. And basically they do a great job with secrecy. But one of the reasons they're secret and that these truths don't get out is because if they do let one out, then people in their families die. People they care about die, or they die. So it's not exactly something they can, when you're scared to death in that way, you don't spill the beans. And I'm just waiting to see. I'm doing my own experiment now, since I think I know what happened. I'm going to just, I've kind of concluded it from all the data points, and especially from my own observation and my own spirit. We could tell right away. They've gotten rid of my song about Queen Erica, and they're trying to block it everywhere that it is, and people are not seeing it. So you should play it for them. Not that it matters, when they block it, they're just proving that they're guilty. They're guilty. TPUSA is as corrupt as any organization in the world. And then if you say anything about that, you're to be shushed. No one is to speak truth anymore. So yes, there's numerous things going on. A big move to silence everyone. And basically a big move to stop free speech. And the little people will shut up and be quiet. The little people will stop complaining. The little people will stop investigating. You little people will sit down and shut up if you value your homes and your lives and your kids. And that's the message they're trying to send right now, after just laughing their asses off at you. I mean, and then they want to pull the same thing. They want to be the TPUSA at the Super Bowl, if we get that far, basically would be the satanic ritual of the NFL. And Bad Bunny would be the righteous, or the non-lethal, the typical profane, stupid act, whatever, that the litany of stupid stars that become millionaires by, becoming influencers and whatnot, and playing ball, doing knee time for the three-piece suits, on Air Force One. So, sorry I don't have a better report. It's, it is what it is. I don't feel any suffering today because I've worked it through, I think. I don't relate to the earth like the place I was born or came from or whatever. I feel like I came from out. I feel like I am one of the stars, and somehow I came here, and I can't think of what I'm supposed to do, so it must be something I'm being led to do. And it's hard for me to believe this little report that I'm doing, it makes any difference whatsoever. But I'm being as honest as I can and using every ounce of intellect I can and elocution and, language ability that I have to try to point out the simple truth that, I guess what the truth is no left and right, but up and down. There's God, right? And everything underneath. And if you get that perspective right, follow God. If you follow truth, it will lead to Jesus. If you follow life, it leads to Jesus. If you follow God at all, it leads to Jesus. If you follow anything, and that's Jesus, that's the enigmatic Jesus. But why is that? Because that's the intermediary, in a sense, the acting intermediary of God, even though that is God, between here and liberation. Liberation for me is going back home where I was before. But it's not hard to figure all this stuff out, really. It's I see Stu Peters out there yelling it's the Zionists. I see Alex Jones yelling and screaming it's the deep state. I see all these people, trying to be right. And the answer is, it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. There's certain things that the reason these people belong, are actors in this play, is because they can't win fighting it. so they joined it. Those who know realize that the real life doesn't begin till after death. That we're in a kind of a purgatory or a death area, like a form of Sheol. And the only way to lift that curse is to die, which is birth. Oh, well, for those that God takes, I guess. I don't know what happens to people who rebel all the way to the end and are proud of themselves because when you hate God, you have to start killing babies and killing each other and lying and, slandering, and it's just amazing. How do I know I'm not slandering with respect to the TPUSA? I'm not slandering, I'm just sharing what I believe. If for any reason that there's if I am incorrect in any way, I would be very happy to announce that. I just was hornswoggled by deception, and these are great people, and the NFL really sucks. Don't you see the comedy here?
You can stay in your delusion. You can stay in your crib. You can stay in your feedback. You can stay beyond your welcome. Find the alligator. Go out front with the machine gun. Tell everyone how nice they are. I don't know you, not anymore. When I asked you, everything was fine. When I asked you, all was divine.
Irrational, repetitious.
You were deluded. You're deluded. I would like to know what went wrong back then. Why do they all stare? You made me into a pariah because I wouldn't lie. You made me an outcast because I wouldn't be your little bitch. Your little bitch. You made me a liar because you all lied.
Shotguns are out.
And now I'm not going to listen. Not anymore. feel